what does redemption look like anymore? Because I feel like we're wired for small communities where you get out of step and everybody calls everybody back. Or there used to be some kind of guiding narrative.
Yeah.
Like we all kind of believe the same-ish things regionally.
Right.
And that's all gone. It's gone.
Oh, yeah, gone.
So the only thing you can do culturally is we just burn everybody to the ground.
You have to.
And you have a pile of ashes everywhere.
For everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah. I think for me is that when I was at my unhealthiest, mortgaged all of my worth into the hands of these people.
Outsourced it. Yeah.
Yeah. I go, y'all tell me
what my value is.
That I'm good, or by the ticket sales or my social media numbers or if my videos are, y'all tell me. They burn you to the ground. Yep. I go, I love to tell jokes. Mm-hmm. I love to do stand-up. Yep. But I cannot put it back into your hands.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's gotta be me. Yep.
Behavior aside, my redemption would be, hey, would redemption for Michael Jordan be winning another championship, or it would be, I would like to still play basketball, right. But if I win or lose, I'm still worth of infinite value. I want to be the best parent. I want to be the best businessman. I want to be the best chef. Everybody goes somewhere to get their worth.
Right.
Everybody does. Yeah. Everybody's on this continuum somewhere.
Yeah.
I know somebody that likes to cook. Wherever they show up, they bring.
That's just their flex.
Bacon, and everybody goes, "We love you." You're like, all right. And we again in rehab. There was a guy. Friday nights we could do whatever we wanted.
Okay.
But you would have to give on the weekend before we left a calendar of everything we're going to be doing. Okay. Right. This guy loved to cook. And we would all week be talking about, dude, we're going over to Jim's. Jim, we all live in these apartments. Jim's apartment. He had these spreads that were, oh, dude, what's Jim doing Friday? I can't wait. And then they said, hey, Jim.
That was his heroin.
Yes. And he would come over and everybody goes, oh, Jim, this is incredible. And we'd all be talking about it before, anticipating it, and after. That was unbelievable. And they go, hey, Jim, no more cooking. And then so you have to look yourself in the mirror now and go, oh, was I the cooking guy?
Yeah.
And that, all the way back to the beginning, the addiction, that he lived by that his whole life.
Yeah.
Because he felt some way about himself that if I don't show up with the steaks and the stuff, do the thing. And then, but do you go, man, and he would, if it's done correctly, the rehabilitation process would be like, dude, and then it would make me cry. I'd be like, hey, Jim, do you want to come?
Yeah.
Hang with us.
Come hang with us. Yeah.
And
we got food.
Or you don't have to cook for us.
We want you here just because you're freaking Jim.
And that would be the first time in a lot of people's lives they've ever heard that.
That's right.
They go, wait. You're like, yeah, dude, I don't have anything.
You're good.
You cool with us.
We
like hanging with
you. We
like
you just for you.
And some people go, that's like that's where
It took me 40 years to get that.
It took me, I'm 39. Same. It took me. When I was there, you go, oh, so y'all know everything about me?
Yeah. You're still here.
And y'all still want to hang?
To me, that's the most haunting question a human can ask is, if you knew everything, will you still love me?
Yeah.
And it was when my wife was like, I'm not going anywhere, and I just want you here.
I was one of 8 kids. Mm-hmm. That kind of like, maybe didn't get the attention or love that, granted, and I love my parents, and I didn't get maybe what I needed.
Right.
And I would go to church. That was the only place we would see. We were all homeschooled. Mm-hmm. We'd go to church. There was these girls that loved me, and they thought I was so funny. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't wait to, like, stuff I learned during the week is to get there and tell them, and they would be like, we can't wait till John's here. Like, we love John. And I went down that path until I was 35.
That's right.
I don't know if there's any other more... Wherever the love is, you go to it.
Right.
And that whether it's like, I mean, you've seen people in this town that are like influential that you've seen them verbalize something maybe like a little bit like conservative or Republican, and then they got a lot of love there, and they just been... It
just goes, like, I don't know, who are you?
They just been going down the road where the affirmation comes from. What? That's it.
Yeah.
And why would you doubt? Why would you... We're all doing that.
That's right.
You do it in a different way than I do it. Or like you're a basketball coach. All you ever known is basketball. And then you're like, I'm taking the gig at the rec league because in there I'm a god.
That's right. in my house, it was like we didn't have any money growing up, and so there was this. And I remember my dad was a policeman, and then he quit and became a minister. And I remember at a young age, like, oh, if that's what the public thinks of public servants, I'm gonna go make money. Yeah. And then it just kind of chased it. And I remember it was last year. Yeah. Like, this is still pretty fresh. That my wife was like, hey, like, the amount of how much I love you because of how much money you make is full. Yeah. Anything else is for your ego, brother. And she goes, you can go do what you want, but
just so we both know,
what I want is you. And I didn't have a psychology. I didn't know what to do. She said these words, and it froze me. She said, John, we have enough. And she turned and walked away. And I did not know what that meant. And that was a year in with a tough therapist downtown. Yeah. And it's saying, like, hey, help me unpack this. And
did you go?
It goes all the way back to Johnson.
Hey, I don't need.
Delony's been singing and dancing.
I don't need to. You don't need to tour in 2024. You know, I'd like to.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't coming into, like, but you don't have to. Mm-hmm. I have to. You don't.
Yeah.
Or I
gotta have this car. No, you don't. I gotta live in. My kids gotta go to that school. Otherwise, they don't.
It was Jim Carrey. I think he said, "I wish everybody could have everything for like a day to realize that it's not." Because outside of being a believer, a Christian, everybody out here, his hope is in a better tomorrow, right? Whether that's a raise or a new politician,
bigger car, bigger house,
relationship. You're hoping in a better tomorrow, right? And whatever that. And he was saying in material, I wish everybody could get it, so they could realize, oh, don't spend your whole life trying to get it, because that's not it. There's nothing up here.
In counseling, they call it the tyranny of accomplishing all your dreams, because you go with you, right?
Yeah, Or imagine being like a comedian and all you want to ever do is be on the Tonight Show. Mm-hmm. You're 20, you're working at the clubs, you send in the tape, they say no. You move to LA, you go to all the meet and greets, you meet the guy, you become friends with the guy, you send him a tape, he says no, you keep going, keep working, and then it's a hypothetical story, but you're 60, and they go, you got it. And you go to Burbank in an Uber at 3:30 in the afternoon in front of a crowd that is, and you do your 4.5 minutes.
Smaller than you think.
You do your 4.5 minutes, you walk off stage, and you walk back out of that Uber, and you go, oh. Yeah. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
First time I was ever on TV early on in my comedy career I was on Comedy Central or something. I forget the name of the show. Live at Gotham in New York City.
Okay,
and they called me. Yeah, they called me. They go, dude, you got it. And I go, oh, awesome. And I remember calling my parents. I wrote about the story in my book, but I call my parents and I go, hey, I'm on TV, right? Which is the biggest. And what did I think? Okay, I thought they were gonna I thought really they'd get an inflatable projector in the backyard, invite all the neighbors, right. and I never forget this, and I've since discussed this with my parents a bunch. My mom called me and said, oh, we don't have that channel.
Yeah. And that was that.
And dude, you're like, oh, I thought this is... Or we're gonna fly there, or we're gonna charter a plane to whatever, or like because it was about when they didn't pick you up for your tennis match when you were 10.
I tell business leaders all the time, if he hadn't told you he's proud of you by now, that call's not coming. It's not coming. It's not coming. And
he probably is.
I know he is.
Yeah. I actually know he is.
He didn't have tools to say that, and that's fine. He didn't have tools to say that, and that's fine.
Yeah. And so the win is not the redemption or whatever. Is not you finally getting him to whoever he is, or finally getting them to apologize, or finally getting the
revenge money, or whatever the thing is,
or the car, or the house, or
the last word.
Maybe the revenge is not that, or not the redemption. Sorry, not revenge is not that. It is if I don't get that,
cool,
I'll be all right.
Yeah,
I would like to, and I'd like to. You still should get up with a purpose in life to go do something or to help people. But if I don't,
but it's almost what you just said earlier. Maybe the call in life. Is to be the caliber person who shows up, so that regardless of whether you can cook, whether you're the funny guy, whether you're the like the smart guy with all the answers.
Guy. Yeah.
People think I'm gonna call that guy. Come on over.
And
like, just come hang.
You come hang with us. And if you're
just because you're you.
I will say, I've come to all these realizations, or I don't even know what you call it, wherever I'm at now. My hand was forced, so I don't want to sit here and be dishonest with everybody. That you should.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't.
Yeah.
You should be honest with. I didn't. Now I had a chance to respond afterwards.
Right.
It's so much better to live this life of honesty or
Gotcha.
I didn't.
Yeah.
So I can't sit here like, well, here's what
but I think you can look and say, and this is my hope for everybody who talks about like, America's on decline and this and that. Is my wife and I sat at a table and looked at each other like this as adults and said, we're gonna keep doing this. Because if we are, everything has to be different from this minute forward. And
we got to keep doing this.
Didn't have to go to Ash first. And that's my dream for folks is if you can at least think I'm going to get on the path to redemption before it goes to Ash. I think that's possible.
It definitely possible. Definitely possible.
It's hard.
Well,
it's hard.
When everything happened to me, I go, this is rock bottom. This is rock bottom. And I never forget this. The therapist goes, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Yeah.
You decided this was enough. Like he's like, I still have a house, a career, a family that loves me, money, my health. This is not rock bottom. Trust me, there's so deeper. There's so many more bottoms below this, including death.
Right.
That you decided, hey, this is the bottom. You decide the bottom.
Right.
And then you go, I gotta get some help, or the bottom is
I'm done.
Until you're not on this planet anymore, you have not reached the bottom.
I won't believe this because you've talked about this in other interviews, but and I'll just leave with this: the growing like just running crisis stuff for years, sitting with police department stuff. The only way through that is
running what?
Running crisis, like helping with death notifications.
Yeah.
The only path through
Yeah.
is a midnight black sense of humor.
Dark.
And I can just imagine a couple of guys standing around their buddy and being like, looking over their casket and being like, that's rock bottom.
Dude. But that, a sense of humor is there. If there's a thing in your family, you gotta go. We can all joke about everything, but the one thing you can't joke about, that's
the gold.
That's the thing that needs to be healed. When I was in treatment, and after I've been there for like a month or so, and you come in depressed at the bottom. Everybody's nobody wants to eat. Nobody just want to sleep all day. And then you start to kind of make some progress, and your family's like, we love you, and you're like, if I can complete this, I can.
The horse likes you finally.
Yeah, the horse likes you. Yeah, you say, and then you're like, well, maybe I don't know. I probably can't ever do comedy again, but I could at least go to the golf course and go to Chick-fil-A, and you start to be like, oh, maybe. And then your agent calls, and you're like, well, once you go, oh, you kind of see the path forward, and I was starting to like feel a little bit better, start to kind of make, joke around and start to, and my buddy put his arm around me one day, and he goes, listen, I know you're doing great, and congratulations on the progress, and I really think this is amazing. I just want to let you know, just don't take suicide off the table just yet. And I go, oh my God. Dude, which is like, dude.
That's a great
It's horrible.
friend.
It's horrific.
It's a great friend.
That's the hardest I've ever laughed in my whole life. Yes. It's the hardest. If you say, what's my favorite joke of all time? And I remember exactly where I was. And he put his arm around me. And it's such the misdirection of that joke.
Course,
he goes, I just want to let you know you're doing great. I just want to let you know, don't take suicide off the table just yet. Which is like, gosh, dude, it was so therapeutic.
Yeah.
And a lot of times who is policing the jokes is someone that was not in that conversation.
Correct. Almost always.
He said it to the guy that told it to me. I don't want to give away his name because it's confidentiality, but that guy loved me.
Of course.
I knew he did.
Right.
We were roommates.
Yes.
And we cried ourselves to sleep over our current situations nightly.
Yes.
Nightly. And that's all we had.
He had earned the right.
Yes. And you go, well, you can't say that, or like, who according to who?
You get to decide that.
You get to decide.
Yes.
And if I'm at my live show and I'm saying these things to my crowd, they are loving it. The transaction is here.
Yes.
You weren't there.
Right. And you don't get a 30-second clip spun out.
Yeah. Or you're like, oh, you don't understand. Or like sometimes you see
that's never funny.
It's not for you. It wasn't for you.
Right.
And that's a Republican, Democrat,
Yes,
black,
yes,
white,
yes.
rich, poor. You're like, if that you weren't the audience for this.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Yes.
You're like, oh, but there's a whole crowd dying laughing.
Right.
So
this is our moment.
you can be offended. Like I don't enjoy this comedian.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. That's allowed because I'm allowed to do that. But you can't say this guy can't tell jokes.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
clear there's a lot of people
Because
that
we're
like
having
him.
a family conversation.
Yes,
That's right.
yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Hey, thanks for coming by, man.
Dude, absolutely. Come by anytime.
You're super busy.
Yeah, telling jokes. Yeah. Going to get my egos needs met.
No, you give people like me space to breathe, and that's a gift.
Well, I hope
it's a human gift.
I hope this is not a comedy podcast or whatever. But I hope that if I needed this message, so I was like, I'm made it not the other side of it. I still got a lot of work to do. Yeah. But you go, man, somebody that would hear this would be like, oh, just like before you even say the horrific things, you just like. First you think them, then you write them down. Somebody write them down and burn them, and then you got to say them to a therapist. But even saying it to a therapist is 5 steps before you even say it to a friend. This guy doesn't care about you. He's a therapist. He does not care.
Right.
If you said the most horrific things, he'd be like, huh. And he's heard it all, by the way.
Yep.
Nothing that anyone here is watching is like, dude, yeah, but my situation, I have, what you do for a living, we've heard them all.
We've heard them all.
Heard them all. And you go, oh, you're still... You can come hang out with us.
You didn't flinch.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can come hang out with us in a contextual way that like there's people that will welcome you.
Yeah.
That's true, right? You're not alone. Yeah. And that's the message that I thought I was.
Dude, that's
alone.
awesome. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming by, dude.
Much love, brother.
See you at Zany's.
I'll come by anytime. Let's go, dude. Let's do it.
See you there.